Hello and welcome to another episode of The Aftermath. My name is Ian, and as always, I'm joined by Dylan. We got another little gruesome twosome for the two of us.
Now,
And
what's special about this one is that Ian has now finally seen the Tears of Time.
what is that?
That's that's what it says at the end of like every preview for the next episode. You will see the Tears of Time.
Really?
Yeah.
How did I notice that?
Yeah. Made that joke a couple times.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I guess I didn't really pick up on it. Sorry.
That's fine.
Anyways, this has been a long time coming.
It has.
How long have we been watching this show for?
A few months, at the very least. I want to say like...
Weren't we watching this before I went on my Disney vacation?
Yes, we were.
That means it's been over 6 months probably.
God damn, half a year?
Well, I mean...
A little over?
Because I know that I went in September to Disney.
Yeah.
So we must have been watching it in the summertime.
Damn, dude. I don't think even Wing took us that long.
Maybe just as much.
Or maybe it did.
Wing had more episodes, and I
did.
wouldn't be surprised if it took us a good 9 months to finish Wing.
Yeah.
We took a few hiatuses. Hiatus. We took a few breaks. I
Right.
guess is the correct thing to say. This one was a little more quick, I guess, but it did still have its breaks in between.
Oh, yeah.
We've been watching this. I guess I should quit beating around this daggum bush. We watched Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam. Yeah. So, anyways, we've been watching this probably for the better part of 6 months, just kind of on and off here and there. Usually, in what I've noticed is like 2 episode intervals.
Yeah.
I've noticed it's kind of my sweet spot. Usually you can get 2 episodes in. It's probably like give or take 40 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
It's like kind of nice little setting just to sit down, watch a few. And usually we always watch it kind of towards the I don't even want to say afternoon, towards the night time.
Yeah.
And we usually have a little relaxing time, just the two of us, and we
It's nice.
have a little hangout and then usually head to bed afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice. It's kind of like, it's been a little routine for me, and I like it when we can get it.
Which hasn't been often lately.
Right. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Well,
But
holidays, the work
Right.
stuff for me always picks up.
nothing within our control, of course.
Yeah. So, well, let's go ahead and start off a little bit with like how you have such an interesting upbringing with Gundam because of how like you kind of found out about it and just kind of started delving in deep. For those of you who have listened to this podcast for any length of time and have heard us talk about both or like Godzilla or Gundam, I feel like those are the 2 like reoccurring things, among other things, but the 2 big ones that we always come back to and always talk about.
The 2 most like easily digestible forms of media that I can get
also,
you into.
Also like a widespread series.
Oh, of
There's
course.
a lot to chip into. There's a lot there. There's a lot to choose from, and you can
I'm
kind of
getting the big ones out of the way.
Right. So where did you start with, or how did you end up coming across this one? Or do you remember your first viewing of it?
I do. I think I had told this story to you before at some point, but it was during like one of the really, really cold winters that we had like way back when. But it was super cold out. There was like a curfew in place. Nobody was able to like go anywhere.
Really?
And I remember
that must have been a long time ago then.
It was a long time ago. This was before like the flood happened and everything.
Wow.
Yeah. Ancient knowledge. I remember laying down on the couch with the little space heater that we had in the living room, and I found this on YouTube.
Really?
Yes. I started watching episodes on YouTube.
Wow.
And then I think the following Christmas, I was able to get a laptop, and that's when I finished the series.
Okay. Wow.
And buddy.
Yeah.
It's a wild fucking ride.
Yeah.
I think the thing that got me into it most was the fact that the main character, Camille, would just fly off the handle if anyone talked shit on his name.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
he just
within the first few minutes of the first episode, you hear this, like, army officer from the Titans going,
oh
like,
my God.
Camille? But that's...
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's a girl's name. But that kid looks like a boy.
Oh, God.
And this sets him off.
Dude, I'm telling you, like hearing you say that, I remember that,
Yeah.
and that feels like so long ago.
Yeah, it does. It's crazy.
It feels like I watched that 6 months ago.
But it's one of the best moments in the whole show.
Oh yeah, he loses it and like
he starts beating the shit out of him.
He pile drives the guy.
Right. Gets arrested and detained.
Yep. Wow, the good old days.
Right.
This show, I liked the suit design in this show.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Super
Lots
cool.
of crazy stuff.
Very
unorthodox.
I like the beginning part of this show.
Mm-hmm.
The middle part is okay. There's some good moments in between.
Yeah.
And the ending is really good as well, I feel like.
Okay, I'm kind of glad because that's not the impression I got whenever we
finished it. Mean, when I say good, I mean like, you know.
Right.
I mean, I would also say that Stardust Memory is good, but does that mean that I think the ending has a little bit of like anger-inducing moments?
We will never forgive that bitch Purpleton. For as long as we live, her name will live in infamy.
Oh man, I will always spit on the name of Purpleton.
Bitch.
Anyways, so it's the same sort of thing. This one less so, I think. I didn't like the ending as much as I've liked other Gundam endings.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the setup for this series. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
I loved the idea of like this new type of Gundam happening.
Mm-hmm.
It feels very reminiscent of like the original series where like Kid stumbles into Gundam and is like proficient at it in some way, or is now kind of bound to it
through some happenstance or another.
Through some osmosis, it's now his or some way because he stole it. I think Camille stole it, right?
Oh,
he starts working for the other side.
Hijacked one of these things after his colony becomes like under attack from the AEUG,
right?
The Anti-Earth Union Group.
Oh God. So okay, this is where in this series specifically, this is where I get confused. And this confusion may just be because I'm dumb. Not going to rule that out. But it also, I'm not quite sure the different groups here. Mm-hmm. I'm a really big fan of the Universal Century stuff, and I get how it works. Mm-hmm. You have the Earth Federation, and then you have the Zeonic Front,
right?
Or the Zeonic,
the Principality of Zeon,
right? They have uniforms. Mm-hmm. They have like delineations where you can kind of tell the two between.
It starts off pretty clear cut.
Right. This is where we really start getting into like people are using different technologies. Mm-hmm. People are wearing similar outfits as they were in previous groups, but those groups aren't around anymore.
Right.
A lot of questionable stuff.
Zeon remnants now.
Right. And then as the show progresses, we then find the heir to the Zabi family, which again is kind of the ruling family of the Principality of Zeon, which at this point in time is no longer wink defunct. A thing. So for me, like this is where I started getting really confused and tied up. So there is still.
I'll tell you right now.
Right.
That's not going to get old anytime soon.
It's not going to stop?
Nope.
Damn it.
It's not so much confusing as I will say it's just convoluted.
Right.
For almost no reason other than to be convoluted, it seems, at some points. But I think that's just how Tomino ends up writing most of his shows.
Right.
Because,
well, to be honest, he's not probably too far off from what would really happen.
No, see, but that's the weird thing. Some of these events I could see happening in real life. It's the dialogue. The way he writes these characters, they would not speak this way in real life.
Right. And that's what, I guess that's what I'm meaning is like, I'm not saying like how they talk, but like the factions as a whole would probably work in this way.
Right.
It's like things happen, people die,
there's a
power transfers.
Clear enough delineation.
Right. Factions will split, you know, that kind of stuff.
You got like splinter groups here and there.
Yeah.
After the big one broke apart.
Of course. That
stuff
makes
like that.
You're right. Now they may not speak like they're intelligent, but
no.
you know.
In fact, they speak as though they're almost putting on an air of intelligence.
I love that.
It's very vague and philosophical.
I love
the way they debate.
Life is hard and cruel, but at the same time beautiful and sweet.
Right.
And the way
these lives are what support space.
Yes.
Stuff like that.
And
It's insane.
It's all the way that I say things that make you feel as though I know what I'm talking about.
right. Yeah.
Anyways, so to get back to the point that I was saying is like, so the Earth Federation's not really a thing, right?
It is.
It is.
Yes.
Okay.
The Titans that we see are like a subsidiary group.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So there's the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
And let me make this easier for me to understand. Camille
is just a young colony boy.
Well, yeah. So eventually, whenever we get to like the mid part of the series, once we get past all of like the first act, like building up stuff, we have Captain Bright, Char,
of all people,
Camille, and that whole powwow of people in the what is it called?
Fucking Ray.
Oh my God, is it called the Amara?
The Argama.
Argama. That's like their new capital ship.
Yes.
What group are they a part of?
The AEUG.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, I was confused about that.
Okay, gotcha.
Anti-Earth Union Group?
Yep.
Excuse me?
What a heel turn.
Okay.
Can you imagine? That's why I love this show so fucking much, is that because they just slam together old adversaries onto the same faction like it's nothing, and they're just like, wow, okay, I guess you're not as much of a shit as I thought you were.
This makes so much sense now.
Right, yeah. You get the power team, dude. Char, Amuro, and Camille. They're fucking unstoppable.
So and it all makes sense now why freaking Captain Bright's kid is a freaking is a terrorist.
Yeah. It's insane. You can see the progression.
Oh my God, it's freaking Gundam Hathaway. I'm sorry for those of you at home who don't understand what's happening right now. All the puzzle pieces of this
this is for us.
Of this very elaborate convoluted puzzle that I've been trying to build in my mind.
This is the moment I've been waiting for since we got into this fucking series.
Dylan just put the last piece of the puzzle and I'm like, oh, it all makes sense now.
Yes.
Oh my God. I thought the AEUG was the other guys.
No.
I thought that they were the schmuck that we were talking about that made fun of Camille. I thought they're the Titans, but I thought they were the AEUG.
No, that's Earth centric.
Okay, but so now, so is it Sirocco? Sirocco. What is he? Who is he part of? Because he wears something that is very akin to Zeonic uniform in a way.
He's a very Mr. Fancy Pants.
Yes.
Orpal hair. Wyatt Orpal? We don't know.
Paptimus.
He's got the dumbest name.
Sirocco.
Paptimus Sirocco.
I like the name Paptimus. It just sounds.
Paptimus
it's funny.
it is funny.
I just feel like he should be a snooty man.
Right.
Yeah, it's quiet.
If he's from Jupiter.
Excuse me?
Yeah. If that's anything to go by.
Jupiter isn't real.
What?
There's no land on Jupiter.
Well, yeah, it's a gas giant, but I'm sure it means like he's from a colony adjacent to Jupiter.
They have those out there?
Apparently.
I thought that all the colonies were like around the moon and like in Earth and stuff.
The orientation of where these colonies are
I think you've said this before.
Is so fucked up.
You want to talk about convoluted?
It's so dumb. It might not even be a colony. It may just be like a training like space station that they send him to for whatever reason.
But how long have those been a thing now?
I have no idea.
Because at this point in time,
it doesn't say.
I've never heard of these things.
Right. It's something new.
Is that why his eyes are gray and he's all like a fancy alien boy?
Yeah, that's why he's fucking stupid.
I see.
is why. But yeah, he is part of the Federation, working alongside the Titans. He may be a Titan. I'm not too sure.
Oh, God. Everything's starting to make sense now. So if Paptimus is like a charming alien boy, it's probably why he's able to mind control all these people into like all these ladies.
It's the charisma.
Oh my God. He's got that alien charisma. He's got that alien charisma.
Right. Baffling.
So this guy, he looks kind of he looks really for those of you who are Star Wars fans, he gives me this not in the intelligence spectrum, but in the aesthetic spectrum of Grand Admiral Thrawn. Always,
you're right.
Always wears white, always looks put together, has this air of like, oh, this is like the big man on campus.
Right.
but unlike Thrawn, does not have the tactical might
Right,
and
the strategic genius.
Exactly, and all the other beautiful things that Thrawn is known for.
Paptimus, I will say, is a people person.
Right. Yes.
He knows how to manipulate, and he knows how to use people.
Yes.
Which is where his strategies come into play. He's able to work with very small teams, work with a crew of a ship very well.
Right.
As far as fleet management goes, and like personal tactics, like the things he does himself.
Right.
Zero.
Yeah.
Man's a straight dumbass. And it gets him into trouble.
Yeah.
More often than not.
Is there anyone else in this series that I'm not aware of that were from like other planets or that are like in Paptimus's scenario, or is he just like the one and only?
As far as I know, he's the one and only.
Wow, okay.
I think Sarah was with him from the get-go, but I don't know if she was also from that same...
And she was the fully... who was the android girl, like the fully android person that was like...
You're thinking of Four or Rosamia. Those were both cyber new types.
Interesting. There's a lot of new stuff in this show.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of
stuff to sort through.
A lot of stuff to sort through.
Right.
But anyway, so again, to kind of circle back around again, so we have Paptimus, and is he part of a group, or is he just kind of his own thing?
He's with the Federation, and he works with the Titans.
Okay. Wow. And okay, so now here we go. This is where it gets confusing for me.
Yes.
The Federation and the Titans, which have always used GMs,
right,
or mobile suits, or whatever you want to call them. They're all using like
they've adopted like Zeonic designs,
right?
Like the Hyzak or the Marasai,
right? Which I've always attributed to be Zeonic, obviously, because that's always what it's been.
Yeah.
So there's been so many times where they come onto the field.
There are now Federation mono-eye suits.
Oh, and I'm like,
it's like the first time you see this thing, it's like,
it feels like
just a Zaku.
It feels like blasphemy.
Right.
I'm like, this shouldn't be a thing.
What the hell is this?
Right. So it's things like that for those of you at home.
Throws you off.
Right. So for everything else that I've seen so far, these green mono eye suits that we're talking about have always been for the Zeon, or for
attributed to the forces of the colony.
Again, because we all know, we can all say it at once. Gundam isn't morally good or bad. Like it just
strictly gray.
It is all whatever side you want to choose. So when I say that the Zeon is the other side, I'm saying the other side as opposed to like the Earth Federation.
Right.
They all have
a side.
Yes. They all
literally.
It is one of many sides now.
Right.
The GM is like, is that what it's called? Like the standard, like,
that was the first Federation mass produced
right.
suit.
So they have like and they look like Gundam adjacent, but like less cool,
right?
Because obviously mass produced and like not as
weak,
spectacular,
right?
So again, for everything else you've seen up until now, it's always been those two. These different factions, these different suits, so you can like tell which side that it is. Just imagine the Earth Federation now is like using the other stuff now, and it's like, I mean, that's okay, but like change the color at least, or something.
Give it a different paint job.
Yeah,
what
right.
Stardust Memory did.
Yeah,
use those training Zakus.
Right. Just give it a cool new facelift or something. But it just feels like you really just like.
You just took that.
Yeah.
From, like off the battlefield.
Yeah, right. Now you're just mass producing the same thing that you just, I don't know. You're supposed to defeat the Zeon, not join them.
Right.
So it's little things like that so far in this show that threw me for a curveball a couple times, because now we have these new names for factions. The Titans, we have AEUG, and then of course
Axis.
And Axis is the Remnant, right? Or no, is that something different?
They're part of the Remnants. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Minerva, is that her name? She is the last remaining Zabi. And I recognize her from the bat. She showed up and I was like, oh, look, it's the girl from Unicorn.
Right.
And I was like, I forgot about that. I was like, wow, it's really cool now seeing the grander puzzle all put back in place now. And also because like Unicorn was the first Gundam you showed me, or that we watched in its entirety. So like,
I still look back on that, like it was really fun and cool.
Yeah.
But man, part of me wishes I would have started you from the beginning, so that whenever you see the shit that happens in Unicorn, you'd be like, oh fuck.
Right. Because I really felt like you Yeah, you want to be honest? You want me to give you a great analogy?
Yeah.
It's as if you, for many years before, were showing me cool cars,
Mm-hmm.
old, new, antique, exotic.
Right.
And you're just showing it to me.
Right.
But you never took me for a test drive.
Mhm.
You always just showed me all these really cool cars of
Right.
different areas.
Mm-hmm.
And then for our first go round, you slap me in a Ferrari. Like, let's go, baby,
Right.
let's go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit.
Just put you in this
I
nice
mean,
little Porsche right here.
I'm telling you, man, we hopped into that shit, and I was like, man, I am not prepared for this.
It's like, man, you think this shit's
Yeah, right.
good? Check out this Model T over here.
It-
Get that OG shit in your veins.
I don't think it was quite that aggressive.
Mhm.
I forgot what the next series we watched was. I want to say it was. What was that? What was the jazz one? Thunderbolt? Was that
Thunderbolt.
right?
Yes, I showed you the original OVA for Thunderbolt.
Right. I want to say
After
that
a
was
while.
very early as well.
Yes.
It's been a long time since we
Mhm.
watched it. Anyways, so it wasn't quite. You didn't quite. I think you at least waited until you really
Right,
showed me
right.
the very
Yeah,
beginning.
I need to make sure
of course.
that you've got a good idea of what you like about it, so that you can really visualize that for these original
Yes.
shows.
But anyways, so you know, I'm now that I'm seeing all of the pieces being put together, there's things that I'm realizing right now
Mhm.
with Hathaway.
Oh yeah.
That again, I was like, at that point in time when we watched Hathaway,
Yep.
I still thought that I only ever knew of Amuro and Bright
Mhm.
because we just finished watching Char's Counterattack,
Yep.
Origin.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say the original Gundam. Like
Oh,
we
yeah.
watched all that stuff.
A lot of the groundwork.
Right. Then watched Hathaway, and I was like, wait a second. So you mean to tell me Bright's kid is like an anti-Earth,
Right.
like almost like terrorist in some
Mhm.
way? And you're like,
Yep.
yeah, like
Not even kind of.
yeah, and
Just-
you're like,
just
and you're
a
like,
full-on
and the
terror.
thing is, I'm shook, and you're like, nah, it kind of makes sense, and I'm like,
Right.
no, it doesn't. And
Like, oh, but don't worry.
yeah, but
it
right,
will.
right. And then of course, I'm pretty sure you had said numerous times, just wait till we see Zeta.
Just you fucking wait.
We watched Zeta. The thing is, Zeta was a long time coming. Like
Mhm.
even before, like
Oh,
it took us a while to watch it, but we also like.
I got a lot of the adjacent series to the original out of the way.
And then we watched Wing, which is arguably
Right.
what was like 50 episodes.
Yes, it was a good bit.
Right. So I mean, we also
Man, that was
a
so
good
good.
an interesting show. It just feels so 90s.
Of course.
I love it. But anyways,
I hope you remembered to tear up your nearest birthday invitation. Then threaten
I'll
to
kill
them.
you.
Yes. Yes.
that is the highlight of that show,
It's so good.
along with many others. But that's the
Yeah.
one that really.
Along with Hero distracting a guard with a cabbage and then chopping him in the back of the head to knock him out.
Wow.
Oh, that's my big favorite.
So with Zeta, man, I loved a lot of the like I said before, the suit design.
It has some of the
It has
best
some
designs.
of the coolest suits.
Mhm.
I feel like the Hyakushiki is underutilized.
It's beautiful.
I love it so much.
Mhm.
And then to see it at the very end just floating
Oh,
away all
a
mangled
husk.
up. I was like, I'm so sad about that.
Yeah.
Of all the suits that should have gotten blasted up, that was not the one.
Mhm.
Man, it was so nice. My favorite.
Yeah.
What I will say about this series in particular, as opposed to like all the other, all of the previous UC shows, I should say,
Mm-hmm.
this one feels like the most different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
I mean, of all the ones, I'm trying to think of all the ones that came before it in the timeline or the ones that are like adjacent to it.
yeah.
This really feels like the start of something like new in history in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about like in universe, not
Yeah,
just like out of universe.
Right.
In universe, up until this point, whenever we start this series, it has been Earth Federation versus the Principality of Xeon,
Mm-hmm.
which is like spacefaring people.
Right.
The fight has been between them, and it's been escalating, and it's been nasty and
Mhm.
dirty and all that
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of stuff. And there's been a nice balance of fighting in space, fighting in colonies,
Right.
fighting on Earth.
Yes.
And it feels like this.
They get all over.
But it feels like this 3-way like territory control, where it's like there is this constant like back and forth of things, which feels like a war, and it feels like that kind of stuff. For the first time, and it doesn't feel magical. It feels. I mean, it seems like it,
right?
But we have like laser swords, and we have like beam rifles,
right?
Which is like science fiction, but doesn't feel magical. There's like some things in earlier ones that kind of maybe like adjacent to that, we're like talking about the ideas of new types.
Oh yeah,
but like we don't really get to see like effects of it in a certain way.
This one fleshes it out a bit.
Yeah. And so I get the point that I'm saying is it feels more grounded in a way.
Oh.
I'm brought back to
almost as if your soul is weighed down.
Oh God, no.
By Earth's gravity.
All right. I'm brought back to like 8th MS Team, where it feels practical.
Yes.
It feels like almost like World War II in a way, or something, where it's like we're in the trenches. We've got ammunition. We're like a squad. It feels physical. It feels like we're dealing with robots fighting each other against other robots, other machines, and tanks and things like that. It feels very physical. Whereas this is the one where we really start to like blur that line between like we're dealing with some like really fantastical looking mobile suits now that have like some really crazy capabilities, and we're talking about new types, and people can start like sensing. For lack of a better term, can start to feel disturbances in the force.
Right.
It's like we can really start to like feel some things now. And we're like, okay, now we're like really getting into some science fiction territory. By me saying all this, I'm not saying it's bad. Right. I'm just saying this is the first time where it's like this feels like a fantastical Gundam show. Oh yeah. And not like a Gundam war documentary. You know what I mean?
I get you.
So and with that comes all kinds of other stuff. Fast moving Gundams and apparently full on like androids, which I was like, that's apparently a man named Peptimus from Jupiter. It's like there's all kinds of stuff going on. That's I see where we're going now.
Crazy.
It's good though, and it's great, and it's new and interesting and different.
So fresh.
But it also feels like so much new at once. It was a little bit much for me to take in at all. With all the factions and all the other stuff going on.
They throw a lot at you.
Right, so that was why I was like, this just feels like almost like a reboot of the series almost. Right. So anyways. A lot of cool fight sequences.
Oh, of course.
A lot of cool stuff. And then there's a lot, man. There are some characters that are great.
And there are some that are insufferable. We will not speak his name because anyone who's seen it or knows what we're talking about is going to know. Now, let's talk about some of the characters we like. Maybe some familiar faces, perhaps?
Oh, man. I love Lieutenant Quattro.
Right. Quattro Bugina.
I love that. What an interesting name.
Yeah. He looks kind of familiar. I think I may have seen him before, though.
Yeah.
But, he's a real go-getter.
I am so... I'm so happy and so sad with how that character played out and with how everything is happening. There's some real heartfelt moments with Char, Lieutenant Quattro.
Right.
You know, his
Char's dead.
Yeah, his wink, his alias, and Amuro and Bright, and it's like
even Hayato.
Oh my gosh, it's so interesting to see. The one thing this show does a really good job of is like unifying these what once were the top rivals, the rivals of these two different factions.
The
on
white
both
devil
sides.
and the red comet.
Oh, dude, I love it.
Mhm.
Is it and kind of bringing them together underneath the same banner?
Yeah. Okay, but can we talk about the most infamous line spoken by Char?
What's that?
Whenever he comes back to Earth and he meets up with Amuro, he just says, "I came here to laugh at you."
Wait, when was that?
That was
I came here to laugh at you.
yeah. That was after they linked up and Amuro like rammed his shuttle into
yes.
the yeah.
I remember that now.
Mhm.
Oh my god, that's so good.
So good.
Oh, I love that. I just wish that I could. I want to. Before Char's counterattack happens, I just wish that we would have got like just a buddy cop.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
Would have been great.
Dynamic
This is the
duo.
closest we get.
A little Men in Black. Just have like really, a chipper young guy and just a grizzled war veteran is like, hey, just here to laugh at you.
Right.
I love that.
No, see, that's the thing, though. They're both grizzled war veterans.
Oh,
at that point.
yeah, I guess you're right.
After Amuro pulled off all this like crazy new type shit and won the war, basically, the Federation goes like, "They're scary. We're putting you under house arrest."
I missed Amuro in this series.
Yeah,
I really did.
Mhm.
Not to say that. Well, I can't say that. There are aspects of Camille I like. I really didn't like him as a whole.
yeah.
I thought he was okay. I just thought that Amuro was less whiny in some areas. I think.
Oh, man, it's I can't.
I don't. You want me to be honest? I don't. Well, I almost said something and I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why not?
because it's not true.
Okay. Well, yeah. There's no harm then. Go ahead.
Right. So I was gonna say is that I remember Amuro getting a bright slap. What was it? Probably maybe a handful of times, 2-3 times,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah,
Got him straightened out right.
Mhm.
And I was gonna say I don't think Camille got slapped enough. But then when I thought about it, I was like,
He
Camille
gets beat the fuck up.
Camille got bitch
He
slapped
got
by
slapped. He
everybody.
got punched.
He got his ass whooped.
Right. I'm sure no one would be surprised if we said he got burned, stabbed, and poisoned
Oh,
by the time the show was over.
Yeah, you're right.
Because, man.
I was about to say I don't think he got enough bright slaps, but then I started thinking about it. I was like, I'm actually pretty sure that he got significantly more and still whined about everything is what it felt like sometimes.
There is a compilation video of how people get beat up in Zeta that I
believe
before. It's hilarious.
There's trust me when I say that just because I'm not the biggest fan of Camille doesn't mean he was my least favorite character.
Right.
I liked him still. There were aspects of him that I was like, it was just like an insufferable character in a little bit of a way. You were just like,
It's very impulsive.
yeah, and you're just like, come on, dude.
He gets better later on, but if a certain circumstance arises, he's going to lose it.
Right, and it's like I just feel so fragile, I guess is what I should say.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Glass cannon.
Correct.
Right.
Definitely right. Yes. I liked some of this. I liked, what was her name? His Fa was her name?
Yeah, Fa Yuri.
I liked Fa. The more, she just felt, she was trying her best.
Yeah.
She was
that
sweet.
Poor girl.
She's just trying her best out there.
Poor fucking girl, dude. She got the shortest stick
yeah.
in the whole show.
Arguably probably one of the kindest and character with the best head on her shoulders.
Aside from like Emma.
Right. Which we don't got to go into. I'm so sad about her death.
Yeah.
Her death sequence. I was like, come on. She's like, take my soul energy.
Absorb my soul.
And of course, like, no, just like, don't die. It's okay.
Yeah, can you like stay alive
Right.
instead?
And she's like, like, come on, please. No, I don't want you to die on me right now. Yeah. So anyways.
Like the fifth girl.
Right.
that he's carrying.
I'm telling you right now, not only has this man single-handedly been around for like almost 5 different women's deaths in this series,
but he has taken their souls,
and
now
now he harbors their emotional and like
their
spiritual
will.
essence, and it's like, dude, no, not cut that out.
Being like that's why I've seen him referred to as like the strongest new type, is because he was the apparently.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Right,
yeah,
because he was just carrying these people around,
right,
and was able to use the Zeta to channel their wills.
It sounds terrifying.
It is. It's crazy.
I don't want to have that many. I don't want to have that many voices in my head.
No.
Especially not whenever like numerous of them are like fighting against each other. I'm like, nah.
Right.
That sounds like a multiple
head.
personality disorder gone very wrong.
Right.
I have 6 different personalities in my subconscious right now, not including my own, and 3 of which are fighting each other right now.
Right.
Nah, thank you. I'm done.
Terrifying.
I'm going to go ahead and check out now.
Puts the Zeta in a new light.
Right. When you put that whole character in that light, it kind of makes me feel a little more apologetic. Like, at least you're not.
Right.
At least it's not solely you probably acting this
Right.
way. So, anyways.
Just trying to make the best of a bad situation.
Yeah, right. There's a lot of like good supporting characters. I mean, Bright is obviously always a really fun.
Bright has been carrying every major protagonist in this series.
I love the fact that he references what we've all been thinking.
Yes.
For numerous series before this, we've all been like, is this a goddamn nursery you have in this freaking ship?
This isn't a fucking daycare.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure he
no,
says,
you're wrong. It is.
Yes, I'm pretty sure at some point.
If you're captaining a ship, you are the
yes,
you are the babysitter.
Right.
You raise these children.
He gets on the ship, and of course, not long after, and I think he's in a fight sequence of some kind.
Oh yeah.
And he says that before. He's like, "Is this a freaking daycare?
Right.
What's happening around here?"
Any child that is present on a ship with Captain Bright is sooner or later whipped into shape.
This is a bridge. This isn't your playground.
Right.
Get
the fuck off.
My equipment. We have to fight the enemy.
Oh, man. I can just...
Quit crying. We have to fight.
Shut up and get out there right now.
I don't give a shit that Timmy stole your toy. We're shooting mechs flying in space right now.
Right.
If you can't tell.
Sit down and shut up.
Right. No, you can't go to bathroom time during the debrief. I need you to stay on the bridge. Anyways, sorry. Anyways, it's just, I love that he made that little reference. I was like, yeah, that's just, I
he
feel
knows.
like.
He's aware.
But what a champ.
He does it anyway.
No, he just does it anyway. We're a good guy.
Yep.
Just sucks it up and just does the job.
He's raised more children than his own children.
I think
for other kids more often.
Yes, I think the better way to phrase that is that he's been more of a father figure to numerous other children than his own kids.
Except his own children.
Yeah.
It's insane.
So does Hathaway hold some sort of animosity towards his dad?
I'm sure. He doesn't mention it.
Because if he's kind of a terrorist now, and now that I've realized that Bright's kind of on that side of the agenda,
right?
I thought there was some kind of falling out.
Right? Does he just not know, or does he know and is actively hunting his own son?
And that's what I was saying. I was like, I'm confused, and I'm also concerned because I'm like, I don't want to see
that's some shit.
But you want to talk about good character development? As like, again, your dad is a war hero and was never present because he was raising everyone else's children.
The wars.
Right. And then, of course, you somehow get a chip on your shoulder and become a terrorist because you're like, no, screw my dad for not being present. I'm just going to go ahead and
everybody get into space now.
Buck the system. That's what I thought. I was like, that's actually kind of cool.
Right. It's crazy.
Anyways. Yeah. What a fun time.
Yeah.
You want to go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room? There's some real bad characters in this.
I know.
Starting with the 2 children we've been poking fun at for a while.
Oh, God. Now, they start off awful, like all children do.
Yes.
In this franchise.
In general.
The 2 small children get a lot better for me. I don't mind them as much, like, towards the end of the series.
Yeah, once they calm down, they're less comedic relief, and they're kind of like parts of the ship. It makes sense.
But this one fucking kid. This one kid, who, mind you, is also a child from the first series. Now a teenager.
I forgot about that.
You did? Yeah, dude.
It's been a while since we've watched the original series.
Okay.
But also, again, he's just been so intrinsically that one guy in Zeta that I hate.
Right.
That, like, I forgot about his past where he was probably redeemable in some way.
Right.
But I don't think so. I'm pretty sure he was just as bad.
Just a shit kid.
Was he also doing this shit in was he the one?
Go on.
I think it all makes sense now.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was one of the ones in the original series that was also doing some shit.
Yes.
And we're like, why, dude?
Right.
Why you got to be like this? Hey, at least he's keeping a consistent character arc.
Yeah. He knows his role.
Yeah. He has to be that one guy who needs to just
be a piece
calm
of
down.
shit. Oh.
One thing I can say, I thought it was a little frustrating at first because I didn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
But Paptimus has a way with women, but not in the way you'd think.
He's got away with like everybody.
You're right. But for some
plays
reason,
up, like Bask, fucking Yazan too.
Right.
As well as Jared.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But he definitely has a way with like manipulating women into just kind of being his like.
Yeah. You won't see a guy go to the same lengths for this motherfucker that
Nah.
some of the women do in this show.
We've always used this term, I think, as the way it's intended. To simp
right
over somebody is usually some sort of man really trying to impress a mediocre woman.
Right.
So I think is what it's technically supposed to be. What the term is supposed to mean.
Yeah.
But in this instance, I really.
I'd say the quality of the individuals remain pretty consistent.
Right.
Optimus is just some fucking weirdo from Jupiter, but the women that he's got,
gosh,
that he's leading on are.
But what I'm saying is that these ladies, I mean, he's maybe interesting, but like they're like you said, these ladies are going to some pretty outrageous extents,
ridiculous.
One woman full on defects
from the AEUG because because he treated her like a woman,
because
quote unquote.
He slapped her.
He fucking slapped her.
He for some reason, I'm pretty sure she exits the AEUG ship.
Yeah, she went to spy on the Jupiterus, which is Shirako's ship.
Oh my god, I can't believe it was right in front of me.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I fucking idiot.
And she like gets found out or like caught or some shit.
Yeah.
And Paptimus like walks up to her like, "Hey baby, how you doing?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Fucking don't touch me." So he slaps her and is like, "I'll see you later." And she's like, "Oh my, wow,
yeah, exactly."
And that's it.
I mean
she's hooked.
I'm not gonna lie, I've met girls like that as well, but not ever like that though.
No,
not willing to defect on like.
I'm going to now devote my entire existence to you.
Yes.
What?
and she kind of does.
She does.
Like, there's even some moments where like her friends, who
her
like
former comrades,
right, are like, "Hey, dude,
what the fuck are you doing?"
Like they're like fighting each other, but they're also like they're not really like laying into the punches or like really landing shots or anything like that. But they're like, "Hey."
Her justification for this is that nobody attended to my needs as a woman on the ship. Like she was dropping hints to everybody, and they were just like, we're kind of in the middle of like a war. You should probably focus on the mission." And so she defects. And
that's all she wanted. Is just all she wanted was Daddy Bright to just slap her upside the face one good time.
No. She was pining for Char.
I forgot about that. Hey, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
She wanted a grown ass man to slap her across the face and say, "Get in line," and she'd be like, "Yes."
Right.
That's all she wanted. Apparently. And you know what? Anyways, all I'm saying is it was crazy. Mm-hmm. There was a hot minute in time where like this android girl was like claiming to be like Camille's sister.
Right.
And it got kind of weird because like they were like getting really close to each other, and like he was really believing that they were related.
Yeah, she had the picture and everything.
It was a little weird because it was definitely like he was also kind of going to some lengths to like really make sure she was okay. Right. I understand.
Yeah,
but
he's had some bad experiences with cyber new types in the past.
And you know what? Like the more I sit here and talk about Camille, the more I just want to apologize.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was a little whiny. He's a little frustrating. He's also a teenager, which I forgot about. But also, I'm sitting here and I'm also kind of shitting on him a little bit about really latching onto this fake sister.
Mhm.
And I was going to say that I could understand really taking care of someone that was your biological sister,
Right.
like really going to some lengths to make sure to protect your family.
Mhm.
But the fact that she's not actually your family, I'm like, that's maybe, I can understand playing along with the game,
Right.
but at the end of the day, you got to be real with yourself and go, I care about this person, but she's not actually my sister.
Mhm.
But the second I was about to say that
Mhm.
whole phrase right there, I forgot within the first 5 episodes of the show,
He loses every family member that he has.
I'm almost certain he kills them.
He kills he's part of the reason his dad ends up dying.
Right.
Because for some reason, he ends up fighting his dad.
Yeah.
And then his mom gets killed by Jared.
And
We'll get to
bitch.
Jared. We'll get to Jared.
And so the point that I was making was, I just wanted to say, as someone who very recently in the show has probably lost all the family he knows,
Mhm.
the fact that he's probably just latching on to something
Right.
that is claiming to be family, I need
Makes
to be
sense.
I need to be a little less harsh, because that really does sound like something that someone would do
Mhm.
in a situation like that.
Yeah.
So that's
He goes through some shit.
there are far worse characters on this show, and Camille's
Right.
not one of them.
No.
He's actually very interesting,
Mhm.
very very cool character.
Yeah.
Now that I'm really putting all the pieces together,
Mhm.
let's talk about Jared.
Ugh.
Let's talk about that scumbag.
Let's just throw him off a cliff.
Can I just say I'm sad at how many times I'm sad I got edged at how many times this man
how'd you going?
this man almost died like 4 times.
Dude, he had so many brushes with death, he ought to start high-fiving the motherfucker.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
You tantalized me
I
so
did,
hard.
I
You told me one time,
did,
you're
I
like,
did.
I'm
It
pretty
was so
sure
good.
something happens. You're like,
get ready.
We both laughed,
Yeah,
and you were like, I'm pretty sure that's where he dies. And I was like, that was it. And you're
It's
like,
his last stand.
I think so. And then of course he shows back up, and I was like, you son of a god! You freaking ripped the. You ever see this magic trick where you rip the tablecloth off?
Yeah.
Where you just all the shit falls on the ground. That's exactly what it felt like. I got so excited.
So good.
Just to have all my shit on the ground.
Right. Oh, man,
Come
that's the
on.
best part.
So funny. Anyways, so yeah, there's a handful of times where he almost dies, and he's just this. I mean, he's just this snide little asshole
He's
guy.
this so unnecessarily dogged pursuer of
Yeah.
Camille.
Right? Yeah, he like that. It's almost like a one-sided nemesis thing,
Right.
Like a
It is.
rival.
It's ridiculous.
He feels like it's one thing that like Camille would feel that way towards him, because like that's the man that killed his family.
Right.
But
at first it was just that, he dissed my name.
Right.
I'm a man and I'll prove it.
Right.
By beating the shit out of you.
Yes. And then of course I'm pretty sure Jared loses the fight.
Right.
Kind of.
Yeah, no, Camille gets like ganged up on and
Right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
But after that, through many circumstances arising, Jared ends up killing Camille's mom.
Yeah.
Without knowing it. But after he finds out, it's like, whatever.
Right.
Fuck you and your mom, I guess.
What a bitch.
He just doesn't care.
No, he doesn't.
Like he realizes that he killed someone's parent. And it's just like, oh, wow.
It's another instance of just simping after somebody that doesn't want you.
Right.
Jared just wants Camille to hate him so bad, and Camille's just like, I don't like you, but I got other things
Camille
to do.
gets over it.
Yeah.
Like not even halfway through the series. He's already done with Jared's bullshit.
Easy.
Yeah. And he just keeps coming back.
What is the oh gosh, I remember, it's like a flashback from my childhood, from my youth.
Yeah.
Fairly Odd Parents. It's like the one-sided the neighbor is like just a nice guy who just mows his lawn, minds his own business.
Oh yeah. The Dinkelberg.
Dinkelberg. And it's what it feels like.
Camille. It's ridiculous.
And he's just like, hey Jared, what's up, dude? Just screw you too for
back
killing
again,
my mom.
Whoopsie.
Yeah. Oh,
Gotta kill you now.
another brush with death. You'll be back again, huh?
Right. I love that he spends like a few episodes basically crippled.
Oh,
like
God.
he's all bandaged up with a crutch.
Yes. Wow, I forgot about that.
Pathetic.
Wow.
And he still goes after Camille.
Okay, so with these last few minutes that we have left, the ending of this show
Yeah.
Man, the last few episodes of this show is like solely in space.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to say almost the last 25% is like all in space.
Mm-hmm.
It's really heavy. There's the colony laser, which again is a space colony transformed into a laser, which is like
ridiculous.
Holy shit, crazy.
Couple of coups d'etats happen.
Yeah. There's like and at one point there's this 3-way battle between all the different factions we've seen so far. It's really crazy.
Char ends up fighting Haman and Shiroko at the same time.
Love it. Badass.
Mm-hmm.
I so badly want it. How do you put this?
Mm-hmm.
The overwhelming masculine urge to just be a threat. You know what I mean?
Right.
Is that like I love the idea of Haman is on the battlefield. Sirocco kind of shows up and they kind of like they're like
right.
kind of
they're having it out.
Right. And then all of a sudden.
And then they feel him.
And they feel his presence. And Haman goes,
he's coming.
He's coming. And I'm like,
just like, damn fucking straight.
You're freaking right, he's coming. You better watch your ass.
Quake in your boots. You pink-haired bitch.
I love that, and I just think that's so cool. It's like I just love a character like that can just be like, "Oh shit,
oh fuck,
he's here."
Right?
Damn it! Everyone acts cool until he comes on the field, and everyone's like, "Damn it!" No,
you don't just overlook a reputation like that,
nah, dude.
The things that man has done.
You're right.
It's ridiculous.
And not only that, but not even the two of you could really knock him out.
Oh yeah,
you blew his leg off.
Mm-hmm. He's still going though.
He's still going though.
Can't score a kill shot. You can disarm him.
You can try real hard,
but you ain't gonna kill the motherfucker.
Ain't no way. And I love that. And then that whole last fight sequence, it was so cool.
Oh,
and
dude,
I love that.
The moment the Zeta like first awakens, whenever he fights Yazan again, the motherfucker starts glowing.
Right,
the Zeta is glowing.
Yeah, and this guy,
the beams are being deflected away from it, and Yazan's like, "What the hell is this thing?"
Yeah, he literally,
and he just runs away.
He's just flying away.
He runs,
arms behind him,
right,
like a
firing lasers,
like a Sonic run. You know, where you have your arms just splayed out behind you, like a Naruto run.
And he can't run.
No. And then of course he just like keep blasting.
Beam saber like extends and he vivisects the dude.
Yeah, crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we start to learn, like, apparently the Zeta Gundam can like
act as a medium,
right, between these
souls,
between these friends that he's lost along the way.
Mm-hmm.
The episode, the penultimate episode, the one just before the end, there's like there's a death of Cats dies, which is kind of crazy because like for the last few episodes, he's really been simping hard for that girl, and it's like Sarah,
who's been dead for a while.
I know, and it's like, dude. Anyways,
I've heard of carrying a torch, bro, but come on.
Yeah, come on, man. You gotta. Anyways, so. And then what's her name? The one that defected.
Oh yeah, Rikoa.
At the very end, she finally has this like revelation of like,
I've been humiliated.
I've
been used.
I was kind of treated like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like this trance has been released from her in some way. Anyways,
pretty crazy how that works.
Yeah. And man, once we get right to the end there, like, of all the deaths in this show, they've all been pretty light.
Right.
Nothing too gruesome, nothing too scary.
Yeah.
There's been explosions.
Jared got torn apart.
Jared, really?
Yeah. He after Camille like nails him a couple times in like the arm and leg, he drifts into the now exploding wreckage of the radish.
Yeah, but I mean, but still, I wouldn't say it wasn't scary.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Paptimus's death was scary.
Bad, dude.
There's a point in time where Camille, I mean, like, and this is the blaze of glory right here.
Awakening.
He goes
the
super
Wave
crazy.
Rider charge.
He goes into his plane form and just flies full speed ahead at the O, which has Paptimus in the cockpit, the chest.
At first he like disables it.
Yeah,
practically. Paptimus is like sitting in the cockpit, like, why ain't you moving?
Yeah, why are you moving? Yeah, help!
Right.
And then just with the tip of the ship, just pierces the core of this big Gundam
Mm-hmm.
or this big suit
Yeah.
strikes the center, like the
right where the
cockpit.
cockpit is.
And I mean, like the faces that they animate him being hit are kind of terrifying looking.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was gonna explode. He just like strains and screams, and like his face is all distorted.
Oh yeah.
And then he sits there with like
Pain.
blood all on the like the tip of the ship and all that kind of stuff. You can tell he's like nearly cut in half.
Right.
And he's saying some things, and I was like,
I'm not about to die alone.
Yeah.
I'm taking your soul with me.
And it's like, at that point, I was like, yo, that's actually kind of terrifying looking.
Right.
It's like a little traumatizing.
Yeah.
It's cool though, but I was like, but I mean, of all the deaths, his was like the most like vivid and kind of gruesome and scary, which was kind of cool. But yeah. And then this is where I was gonna say, this is where I get I get a little sad. After all that, Camille apparently, I thought he lost his mind. I'm sorry, I thought he lost his memory. You were saying he lost his mind.
Yeah.
As in like
He is now mentally broken.
Right. And at first I didn't catch on to that because he kind of was like, hey, like, get me out of here. Like, I don't know where I am.
He just
like, what's
doesn't
going
know
on?
where he is.
Right. Fa is obviously like there kind of with him, like trying to make sure he's okay.
And she's aghast.
She looks shaken.
Mm-hmm.
Shooken.
Shooken.
She looks messed up. Like, and like as if something catastrophic has happened.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, I was like, if he's just a little amnesia, it's not a big deal. But then you were like, no, he's actually like insane now. And I was like, oh, that's sad.
Yeah. Awful.
Yeah. So then I think and then she like takes them off to the ship,
Mm-hmm.
and then like the sun sets behind planet Earth.
Yep.
Little
And
nice,
that's where it ends.
little nice halo glow around the Earth as it just fades away, and you're like, that's the end.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure it just says, GZ Finn. It's like,
I mean, I guess.
damn.
Yeah.
There's a lot more questions I have than answers at that.
Right.
But at the same time, I get it.
It's very depressing.
Damn, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
What a sad time.
Mm-hmm.
So
you got a favorite character? I mean, you can't really pick anyone else.
I know. I was just going to pick Char.
Of course.
I love the Yakushiki so much.
Mm-hmm.
I love the big-ass cannon.
Oh, yeah.
I love
the mega bazooka launcher.
The mega bazooka launcher makes an appearance at the end, too.
Mm-hmm.
He just blasts through a hole. It's part of the reference that we're talking about whenever pink-haired girl sitting there saying, he's here.
Mm-hmm.
He just blasts
an
this
entire column of mobile suits.
disintegrated. Obliterated. I was trying to combine two words, but it didn't work out. So anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I just love his character.
mm-hmm.
Like I said earlier, Fa is a really good character too.
Yeah.
I just think she's super sweet and just is really trying her best.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone just feels so emotional and just feels so pissy.
The drama, dude.
She is literally
hyped up.
She's really raising those like kids,
mm-hmm.
like taking care of them whenever they're not being. At first, she is like not really fighting at all, and is like just kind of being a motherly figure to these kids that are on the ship.
Right.
And towards the end, she's like actually like out there
mm-hmm.
fighting with them, and it's like that's actually really cool. I just feel like she's the real voice of reason
mm-hmm.
a lot of times.
Definitely.
Camille, everyone else so emo and so mad and so
right.
up in arms about something, and she's like, hey, it's just
gotta
I'm
cut
here.
through the bullshit.
It's all right.
I'm out to survive.
I'm out to survive here.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone needs to just calm their tits, please.
Right.
So, what about you? Is there any other characters that for you stand out?
I gotta go with Emma.
Emma's a good character too.
Emma's great. No nonsense.
Except for her death scene. It was kind of sad.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. A very motherly figure.
Right. She really took it like a champ, though.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever she got blasted out.
Like, I'm on my way out, bro.
Here it
Take
is.
my soul.
Right. No, not even that. I'm talking about whenever she leaves her suit gets, like, knackered up.
Mm.
She, like, leaves the cockpit.
Yeah.
After the whole sequence of, like, I've been manipulated.
Right.
The remains of that
Cry
suit,
about it.
Yeah, cry about it. Seethe, bitch.
Cope in the afterlife.
Right. After that whole sequence happens and she kind of like fades away. Was it Jared or was it the other guy that blasts? It was the other guy. He blasts it and then it explodes and she gets like knocked around by the debris. And I was like, yo, that looks like it hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what takes her out ultimately.
Yeah.
But yeah, she held on for a good bit there.
Right. Well, another good Gundam series in the books.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God. Now what?
Oh, man. I think we had talked about...
We did. We had a couple lined up.
So I want to retouch on some of the classics.
Mm-hmm.
I want to watch Cowboy Bebop again.
Yep.
I want to watch The Big O again.
Mm-hmm.
There was another one I can't remember.
Well, we for sure need to finish Black Lagoon.
I forgot about Black Lagoon.
Yeah, we dropped off of that one hard.
You're right.
It was a while ago.
Wasn't there another show? I don't know.
I'm sure there is.
There's
There's a plethora.
There's always so many more. There's always more.
Right.
Anyways, yeah, I enjoyed Zeta.
Good.
You said that Double Zeta gets a little wonky.
Double Zeta's wacky.
Wacky. And I already thought Zeta was kind of wacky. Uh-oh.
No, I mean wacky as in like genuine whack.
Oh gosh.
Like funny, haha, wacky.
Oh no.
Yeah. After the slog that was Zeta, they really wanted to lighten it up a bit.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
So,
just keep it depressing.
Right.
The thing is, like, it doesn't even, I wouldn't, like, there are some heavy moments in the show, but I wouldn't say it really got, like, depressing or sad until, like, the last 2 to 4 episodes.
Right. Yeah, people dying left and right.
Right.
Motherfuckers going crazy from psychic attacks.
Yes.
It's really really drives it home at the end.
The thing is, like, I think that even, I don't know. Mm-hmm. I think that the show was good the way it was.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change anything about it.
Yeah. I like it.
But if Double Zeta is even more wacky, then it's like, well, I don't know. I want to.
We'll get around to it at some point, but I don't want to just jump into it right away.
Right. Can you answer me a question though?
Mm-hmm.
Does Char make an appearance in Double Zeta, or is he out?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
So he's supposed to be assumed to be dead.
Assumed, yes.
For a second time.
Mm-hmm. The last time we see him until Char's counterattack is the end of Zeta.
Really?
Yeah.
Where does he go?
We don't know. He just goes. And then ends up
wait. It all makes sense.
Zeon.
Okay. So wait. At that point, so I totally forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you at home, they're inside the remnants of this ship at the end of the final battle. He's fighting, who is it?
Haman. His old flame.
Yes. Pink-haired bitch. Yeah. He's fighting her, and then there's like this like gash in the roof or whatever that has like electrical stuff or whatever, and with like no arms and no legs and like the down in his luck, last ditch effort, he's gonna die here basically because again, Haman has the upper hand.
Right.
Face guns, the roof of the ship. It explodes and like it goes crazy.
Oh yeah.
Debris falls on top of the Hyakushiki, which is the thing he's piloting.
Right.
And then like very quickly after that, she has gotten out and like sees the whole ship explode.
Yeah. We like see her get knocked against one of the walls of the ship.
It looks like she got trapped as well.
Yeah, and then it just explodes and then she's out.
Right. And it's like at first I was like, oh well, that means that Char got there as well.
Right.
Because I was like, I mean, Char obviously is going to make it into Char's counterattack.
Of course.
At some point in history. Which I know is after this.
Yeah.
But then as we're sitting there, does she make an appearance in Double Zeta?
Yes. She actually ends up being the main antagonist of Double Zeta,
Ah, I see.
along with some fucker named Glemmy.
Glimmy?
Yes.
What a
What a doorknob.
what a doorknob. What a ding dong.
Oh, yeah.
Glimmy.
Yeah. He's awful.
Dondi and Glimmy.
Right.
Grabber and Jombum. Anyway, sorry. Just coming up with fake names.
Yeah.
But anyways, so anyways, I was like, okay, but I forgot that I thought the thing that I was saying was I wasn't putting two and two together in that he was in the Hyakushiki when the ship exploded.
Yeah.
And at the very end, whenever the Hyakushiki is floating away, I forgot that they weren't in the same thing. So I guess that was the nod that he's like still quote unquote okay.
Right.
I didn't put that together when we watched it through, but I did now.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. But man, he must have laid real low.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Ending up as the leader of Neo Zeon. That's a hell of an appearance to make out of nowhere.
Neo Zeon is in Char's counterattack?
Yes.
Wow, dude. And is Minerva part of that?
No. No, she's part of the Zeon remnants who still support the Zabi family.
All right. And did they show up in Char's counterattack?
No.
Oh. Ooh, the plot thickens.
Right.
Damn. Anyways, we'll talk more about this later. We'll watch more. There will always be more room for discussion with Gundam.
Oh, of course.
And to be honest, we can probably be here all night if we're not careful.
Right. It's yeah.
It's a slippery slope. Anyways, thank you so much for listening. If you're trying to get in contact with us or find different places you can listen to this
go into space
podcast, you can go to linktree/Ian Wolf, and you can find all of our social media links and all the places you can listen to this show. Or I heard that you can also just find a black pearl in the ocean.
Yes.
Rub it 3 times.
And then eat it.
Yes.
We will appear.
And then you will get the podcast.
Yes.
Directly in your subconscious.
Telepathically transmitted.
Right. Or, I mean, if you wish to as well, you can go out into space. Find your nearest space colony.
Go to side 3.
Yeah. And it's just there.
Yep. That's where we are.
Readily available. Those are just a few of the many ways that you can listen to this podcast.
If your soul isn't weighed down, that is.
Right. It's actually a little bit easier if your soul is weighed down. Because we just added the voices in your head and it's fine.
Right. Of course.
I'm pretty sure if you channel hard enough, now we're getting to like the disproven, or not really the not authorized ways. If you channel the spirit of this podcast hard enough, our voices will appear in your head.
And you will glow pink.
Yeah. But you have to be inside a Gundam.
Yes.
Zeta specifically, but pretty sure if you try hard enough, you can make any of them work.
Oh, yeah.
But this is just one of the many ways that you can listen to this podcast.
Yeah, write these down.
If you're not writing these down, you probably need to...
You're lost already.
Yeah, anyways. But
lost them like a minute ago. What are we talking about?
Yeah, that's fine. Until next time, thank you so much for listening.
See ya.
Bye-bye.